We're here today because we all understand that in dealing with violent extremism that we need answers that go beyond a military answer. We need answers that go beyond force.
We spend more time talking about what do you call it, as opposed to what do you do about it. You know, I mean, really, if Fox didn't talk about this, they'd have nothing else to talk about, it would seem to me. You know, radical Islam, Islamic extremism, I'm not sure an awful lot is gained by saying that. It doesn't have any impact on our military posture. It doesn't have any impact on what we call it, on the policies that we put in place.
Well, that's Attorney General Eric Holder today, and you heard the Vice President on this summit, this conference of violent extremism. Just to remind you, this is the former head of the Defense Intelligence Agency talking about the same thing, what you call ISIS.
I think what the American public is looking for is they're looking for moral and intellectual courage and clarity, and not a sense of, and I just say as passivity or confusion. You can't defeat an enemy that you don't admit exists. And I think that we have to clearly define what the enemy is. That's number one.
With that, let's bring in our panel. Syndicated columnist George Will, radio talk show host Laura Ingram, and Juan Williams, columnist with The Hill. Okay, Laura, the Attorney General says that's all we talk about.
Well, he certainly is specific when he wants to be, Brett. I mean, we're a nation of cowards on race, obviously sending the Community Relations Board of the Department of Justice into Ferguson, or getting everyone all whipped up on the issue of police brutality. We're able to define things pretty clearly when it is in our wheelhouse, when it advances our ideological agenda. The fact that they can't say what is patently obvious, I don't know, is there anyone who is isolated today on this issue as maybe a few people in the Obama administration? I mean, even the folks on one of the other cable networks this morning were kind of throwing their hands up saying, we don't even understand this. It's like a psychological thing. So I can't explain it, but I think the interview with the former DIA chief was very, very instructive. We can't really rally a nation to do much if we're really not unified on what it is. I mean, we're not fighting extremism. We're fighting a brutal Islamist ideology that announced today and yesterday they want to go to Rome next.
George, 45 burned to death reportedly in al-Baghdadi, which is only a few miles from where U.S. troops are training Iraqi troops on the ground. And, this is the semantics that we're getting here in Washington.
Yes, well, I don't want to make the Attorney General even more cross than he already is about the semantic somersaults that he's going through to avoid acknowledging the fact that these are religions and religious conflicts going on here. The New York Times had a story about how the administration is going to go into counter-messaging. They take very seriously what words are said. And an Undersecretary of State for Public Diplomacy said the following. This was apropos of Mr. Biden saying we should go beyond force. We're getting beaten on volume, so the only way to compete is by aggregating, curating, and amplifying existing content. We are going to inundate ISIS with tweets, it turns out, from 350 State Department accounts. The New York Times explained it this way. The Assistant Secretary of State said, the new campaign against the Islamic State would carry out strategies now routinely employed by many businesses and individuals to elevate their digital footprints. No boots on the ground, but digital footprints. And finally, he said, these guys, meaning ISIS, aren't BuzzFeed. They're not invincible in social media, so we're not fighting anything as formidable as BuzzFeed. You'll be glad to know.